Hello, everyone. My guest today is Oscar Macia. He's an experienced sales-oriented manager and entrepreneur. He's the co-founder and CEO of ForceManager, which has transformed from a small startup to a leading competitor in sales management in a very short amount of time. The rapid growth has been ForceManager's impact spread globally to over 35 countries with offices already in Spain, London, and Latin America, counting with a wide portfolio of clients, including several large multinationals. Oscar, are you ready to take us to the top?
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Okay, so tell us about ForceManager. You know, the sales space is a tough space. What do you guys do, and how do you make money?
Well, basically, it's a tough space, but it's a huge space. There is huge opportunities, and there are a lot of niches where you can get value from. For instance, in our case, we have specialized ourselves in field sales. Field sales is a very important part of the sales landscape. And there are a lot of field sales reps out there that need a different solution than the conventional CRMs. In our case, we use and we leverage contextual information, AI, and everything to provide a solution for field sales reps that it's more a sales assistant that's basically helping them on their daily activities. So this is basically our approach. And well, it's been quite successful, and we are growing so much in the last years. And I think it's a very good solution for these guys. Well, basically, we are doubling our staff and our business every year. So for this market, I think it's a great number, of course.
And so these are teams that utilize field sales. It's a mobile app that, you know, the sales rep in the morning pulls it up on their phone. They see where they need to go today, and you maybe recommend where they should drive and who they should close.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's very important for a mobile application to understand the context of the user every time, because as long as mobile users, they just look into their phones for a very short window of time, we need to provide them always information that it's interesting for them at that time and it's actionable. For instance, we use geolocation to provide information on their surroundings. For instance, if he has to go to a next visit, we take in account the traffic conditions. So basically leveraging all the information that we have already in the system to help this guy to do better his job.
Mm-hmm. Now, you mentioned on your website some of your clients include like Zapper and Hertz and Ford. Can you tell us how, maybe everyone knows Hertz, I think. How does Hertz use you?
Well, basically, these guys, they have a very interesting B2B model. So because basically they are selling their services to corporations and small and medium businesses. So basically, when it comes to sales, basically you have two parts, you know. The first one is hunting, and the second one is farming. In this case, we help them to get new customers on board, running through campaigns, and track everything on the process and have a full trackability on how these campaigns are going, or basically managing their sales teams like you do with your
Are Hertz sales reps, I mean, what are they doing each day? Are they driving around in California? I thought Hertz was a stationary rent-a-car place.
Yeah, that's it, because they have a business unit that they sell their services to companies. So they have to visit companies in-house to offer their services. And this is where our product really makes a difference. Because they need to be proactive and go there to find the potential customers.
I see. What's your business model? How do you make money?
Well, we are another software as a service company. And yes, and well, basically we charge our customers monthly or yearly, and basically per seat.
And what do people pay on average, would you say, per month?
Well, it depends on the number of seats, but we can say that the basic
well, what's your what's your average though, like across your entire customer base, would you say?
Yeah, I would say it's around 20, 30 sales reps. Well, that's probably around $2,000 per month.
Okay, so it's about $100 a seat.
Yeah, more or less.
Okay,
yes.
Got it. Okay, and now tell me more about the backstory here. When did you launch the company, Oscar?
Well, we started back on 2011, so it's been such a long time since we started ForceManager. And well, it's been a very long story. So a lot of things happened at the beginning, where me and my co-founder, basically two guys sitting together in front of each other. And then we had to hire a lot of people. We needed to build the technical stuff at the beginning.
Are you technical or business?
Sales, marketing. Excuse me?
Were you technical or business? Like, how did you guys meet in the beginning?
Well, my co-founder is a tech guy. I'm the business guy. But the cool thing here is that I understand perfectly his needs because I have a technical background as well, and he has a business background as well. So I think we are very complementary, but we understand each other what's our role in the company.
And did you guys just in the beginning just say, okay, we're just going to split equity 50-50, or how did you have that tough equity conversation?
Well, I think it's very important to be very straightforward and put this over the table as soon as possible. And in our case, as long as we were providing the same amount of value to the project, and we were 100% committed, 50%, I think at that time was the obvious outcome. So this is basically what we did.
And you said at this time, so you're inferring something has changed. What has changed?
Well, from that point has changed a lot of things. And now we are scaling our company. We are going to new markets. So now the company is absolutely different from what the company was at the time. So a lot of things have changed.
Well, how does that all impact the cap table, though? That's what I'm interested. I mean, is he still with the company, or did he leave?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, every time we go for a funding round, the table changes because we have new investors that are coming on board. And we've been through a seed capital round, a Series A, Series A plus, and now Series B.
How much total have you raised?
We've raised so far, I think it's about 15, from probably around $16 million.
1.6, right?
1.6, right.
Okay, $16 million. And why did you decide to raise the capital versus continuing to bootstrap? Like, where is it going? Is the tech really hard? That's where you need the capital, or is it user acquisition that you need the money for? Where'd you use the money?
Well, it's a pretty good question because when you're at the position, it's the first thing that you have to answer yourself. If it's a good idea to raise money, because when you have investors on board, basically you have another responsibility and another people to be accountant to. So, of course, in our case, as long as we are in the tech business, we know that the best barrier to entry to our competitors is growth. So we needed to grow very, very fast. And the only way to grow very, very fast is having capital.
Yeah, Oscar, to be clear, though, my question is, where strategically do you spend the money to drive the growth? Is it on an engineering team because the tech is really hard? Is it on acquisition because those leads are expensive? Where is it?
Well, it depends on the moment of the company. At the beginning was everything about product. But as long as the company has a stable product and it's a good market fit, everything is about sales and marketing. So right now, I would say that 80% of our expenditure every month, it's going to marketing and sales and other related activities to marketing and sales.
Yep.
But in the beginning, everything is about product.
What's your team size today?
We are about to get to 100. I think we are 95 roughly.
Okay.
So basically, this is where we are.
And where are you guys all based?
We are based in Barcelona. Then we have a team in Madrid, another team in the UK, in London, another team in Mexico, in another one in Colombia. Sorry.
Very good. Okay,
so we are spread abroad. Yes.
Yeah, spread out. Okay, good. And then you mentioned you're spending, 80% of your spend is on sales and marketing activities. Ignore sales reps and any human expenses. What do you spend each month just on paid acquisition? Well,
right now we don't have a very active paid acquisition strategy because we switched from inbound to outbound. We are investing heavily on outbound campaigns. What I mean with outbound is basically that we have SDRs. We have the typical predictable revenue team, SDRs, phone calling, then inside sales that are basically getting the lead and running demos and then closing the deals. So at the beginning, we were very focused on lead acquisition through online channels, like, for instance, mobility. We were on Facebook. We were on Google AdWords and so on. But now we are putting more resources on outbound because it's a way to be more strategic in sales, because this way we can target better on the industries where we are more strong. And the good thing here is that we get a lot of feedback because we can actually talk with our prospects. It's basically a thing that you cannot do when you are doing online marketing.
Yep.
Most of the times.
Considering all of this, you're scaling your sales team, you're experimenting, you were experimenting with paid, you're really not anymore. What is your fully weighted CAC right now? What are you paying to acquire customers?
Well, it really depends on the segment, because we are going to mid-market and to big market. In mid-market, it's around 3K. per customer, and in big market, the big corporations, it's about 8 to 10K. It's quite related on the size of the customer and the total value that this customer is going to lift you to over the table along the years.
Yep.
And that's basically where you have to look into if your company is going to be profitable on the long run.
So yeah, let me ask that question differently, because it won't matter what cohort you answer this for. What payback period do you like to optimize for?
Yes, well, the thing is that the total margin of the customer should be around 80%. So if it costs you 20, you will have to be able to collect from this customer in the whole life of the customer around 100. So this is basically the metrics that I have on my head.
Well,
because
yeah,
otherwise it cannot be a good business, you know.
But that can still, even if those numbers are healthy, it can still kill you. So if you only spend $3,000 on acquisition, but it takes you 30 years to get 4x, CAC. That's why I ask about payback period, the time it takes you to recover the CAC, not what it is over their life.
Oh, okay. Basically, it's between 8 to 10 months.
That's
depending
healthy.
on the core, right? Yeah, it's very healthy. We have a very good unit economics, and it's basically because we focus a lot of that. Because until we raised the last capital round, we had to be very, very, very precise on how we spent our money, because we were capital constrained and we had to be almost in break even, and we had to look into the numbers very, very precisely every month.
Well, Oscar, you know this, but the king of unit economics in any SaaS company comes down to one number, and that's churn. What is your churn at right now?
Well, the gross churn is around 0.8% monthly. It depends between 0.5 and 0.8. So I would say it's a very good churn rate.
And that's logo churn monthly is about 0.8%.
Yeah, it's the MRR, but it's basically what matters to me, you know.
Is your logo churn though about equal to your revenue churn, or no, they're different?
No, logo churn used to be slightly higher because, as you know, the small companies are the ones that churn the most.
Yeah. So what is that though? Tell me both of them. So revenue churn is healthy. What's logo churn?
Well, logo churn is a little bit higher. I don't remember the name right now.
Okay.
The exact number, but it's slightly higher. But it really depends on the cohort, because the very small customers are the ones that churns the most, and the biggest customers are the most stable ones.
Well, yeah, that's why you give me revenue churn number, right?
Right. This is the revenue. For me, it's what matters. You know?
So you haven't hit net negative revenue churn yet.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. The figures I was telling you was gross churn. The net churn is negative. It's minus 0.5%.
Got it.
Monthly.
That's good. That's great. So yeah, about negative 6% annually, meaning your expansion revenue makes up more than covers any lost revenue, and then adds additional 6% on top of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's great. And give me a sense of how many customers you're helping out now. What are you at?
We have around 700 customers.
Okay, great.
Right now, paying customers, and they used to be, around between 20 and 3,000 sales reps. 3,000 sales reps is the biggest one that we have right now. So most of them are big corporations.
Yep. So if I take 700 customers and you times that the ARPU you told me earlier of around 2,000 folks, because you said the average sales team is about 200 people. I mean, you guys are doing well north of 1.4 million monthly, right?
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah. Do you think we're about to round out this year? I mean, do you think you'll break the $20 million ARR mark this year, or no?
Well, I don't think so. We will try.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard.
You have 10 days. You have 10 days left.
It's gonna be very complicated. Yes.
All right.
Well, we're gonna try to do our best.
That's good. And what you said, you're about doubling year over year. So is it fair to say back in December of 2016, you were doing somewhere around 700 or 800K a month?
Yes.
About a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Very good, Oscar. Let's wrap up here with the famous 5. These are quick answers. Number 1, what's the last business book that you read?
Well, the last one, let me think. It's one about hiring. I think it's called Who. It's a very, very interesting book to read to any founder or anyone related on human resources. And if it's a really good one, because having the world class guys on board it's paramount for building a business.
Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying right now?
Well, the one that it's cooler for me and I love his style is the one that is running SpaceX and Tesla. So this guy is Elon is it's
Yep.
amazing.
Elon Musk. Number 3, besides your own, what's your favorite online tool?
The online tool. Well, one of the tools that we use all the time, and we are very, very happy using it, is HubSpot, for instance, for our marketing campaigns. So it's a very, very built-up tool, and we love it so much.
That's interesting because they're all about inbound, and you're shifting to more outbound strategy, but they're still helpful, huh?
Yeah, it's very helpful. Yes, because we are doing outbound strategy, but we have lots of inbound, so we need to manage them.
Number 4, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
Around 6 hours.
Okay, that's good. And what's your situation, Oscar? Married, single? Do you have kids?
I have 3 kids.
Holy mackerel! So
married.
Married with 3 kids, and how old are you?
I'm 40.
40. Okay, last question. Take us back 20 years. What do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
Oh, probably how to hire people better. This is something very, very important. And a lot of things related to business. Basically, how to manage people and align them to basically what we want to do. This is probably the most complicated part of managing a company.
There you guys have it from Oscar with ForceManager. He wishes he would have learned how to hire better and faster and quicker and more efficiently. He launched the company back in 2011. He's since raised about $16 million, 700 customers he's currently helping. They're growing 2x year over year. So again, in 2016, doing about 700 grand in revenue. Now today in December 2017, doing 1.4 million bucks a month. Super healthy unit economics, retaining loads of their customers. Super healthy payback period of 8 to 10 months with his team of 100 folks between Barcelona, Madrid, UK, and Mexico. But Oscar, thank you so much for taking us to the top.
Okay, thank you so much.